Hello and welcome to Behind the Lines. I'm Diane Dayton. Today we're going to talk about Stockings for Soldiers. It's a part of the Keystone Military Families, and it is the 7th year with Blue Ridge. And with us right now from Blue Ridge, we have Cindy Mellinger. Cindy, you're the Marketing and Community Relations Coordinator, and then you also are the coordinator with the Stockings for Soldiers here in our area, right?
Correct. Yes, correct.
Thank you for being here. You're not a stranger to our set or the community, too.
And thank you for having us.
It's wonderful to have you. And then we have Randy Schwebel.
Yes.
Yes, and you and your mother Brenda are a part of the Homefront team.
Yes, we are.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now, what is, for those who are just joining, really, what is the Stockings for Soldiers, Cindy?
Okay. Stockings for Soldiers program actually started back about 14 years ago. Right after 9/11, Kyle Lord, who's the founder of the program, had a son that was in the National Guard. She knew at 9/11 that something was going to happen and he was going to be deployed. He was deployed in 2002. At that point, they didn't have PXs. They didn't know where to send things. They didn't have ways to communicate with families and with the soldiers. So she started the program so that families could be in touch with their sons, their daughters, and, husbands who might be serving overseas. And with that, the project just developed and evolved so that care packages, cards, words of encouragement could be sent. And the universal part of where we have actually become involved with 7 years ago was the Stockings for Soldiers program, because there are so many of our men and women serving overseas, especially over the Christmas holiday season. That's a time for cheer, love, hope, and joy. And we want to think about our men and women serving over there. They're giving the greatest of sacrifice. They're the defenders of our freedom, but they're also sacrificing because they're being away from their family and their loved ones. So the Stockings for Soldiers program gives them that universal symbol of love with gift-filled items. It's tangible things, food, much needed hygiene items, and cards from home.
Okay, well, the cards from home are wonderful, and that's where you and your mother are really involved.
Yes.
Did you personally, the two of you, do 2,000 already?
Yes.
Wow.
Lots to do.
Wow, yeah, and what you're going to try to do is get 3,000 to be signed. Tell us more about why you're doing this.
We do this because we want to do it. There is a need to do it. Our soldiers sacrifice their lives every single day. It is our time to say thank you to our soldiers and to know that they are loved and they are wanted and they are welcomed when they come back home.
Yeah. So what really is the Homefront team?
The Homefront, we're basically a support team of Christmas cards for the Stockings for Soldiers program.
All right, so that's the main function with
Yes.
that too.
Yes.
And how did you get involved with Blue Ridge?
Actually, I came in here one day to pay my cable bill, and I was very impressed with all the items for the soldiers. And so we got involved. We began getting involved. I got to meet Cindy Mellinger, and we've gone from there.
Yes. Well, there's a lot of time, a lot of money involved with this. Tell us more, Cindy.
Okay. Well, first of all, I do want to say thank you to Randy and to Brenda. Not only do they do this, but they also help us with the Touch a Heart program. And last year they did be about 2,500 to 3,000 homemade cards for Valentine's Day that went out to our soldiers and our veterans as well. So they have been just a wonderful partner with Blue Ridge, but they've also become very dear personal friends to me as well in this effort.
great.
So I'm very, very blessed.
Yeah.
The Stockings for Soldiers program, the reason we really got involved here, and I'll be very brief on it, is back in September 11th of 2001, 9/11. I was actually at Hershey Medical Center 2 days out from having a bone marrow transplant to save my life because I had acute myelogenous leukemia. When that came on the news, the devastation of that, I just wished that I could be there. I just wished I could have given an outpouring of some way of love and caring and support. I was offering my prayers during that particular time. Little did I know that maybe 7, 8 years later, I would meet Kyle Lord, who at that same time at 9/11 was heartbroken because she knew her son was going to be involved. We connected at a Hometown Heroes event that I was putting on in downtown Ephrata, and from that we joined these sources. So put our sources and resources together, and so here when I look back, that those pieces were already being put into place back there at that particular time, and that way I was able, through my journey, to be blessed to be a part of giving something bigger than myself and to be able to provide hope and love to others as I was given that same hope and love and prayers during my transplant.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Now the public, how does the public get involved with this? Because I know there are probably people that are watching that want to be a part of this and the card signing.
The public can get involved by bringing and donating cards, and bring them in here to Blue Ridge Communications.
All right.
We do have a web page, it's thehomefrontteam.com or on Facebook. So check us out.
Okay. Which location at Blue Ridge, Cindy?
The location would be our 804 Academy Heights Avenue, where people come to pay their bills and pick up their equipment. We have, the lobby is completely decorated for Christmas. We have all kinds of tables and displays that have all of the information, not only for the collection for the items, but also for the Homefront team. Actually, all year long, I was actually collecting old and used Christmas cards that Randy and Brenda from the Homefront team would refurbish into brand new cards.
Oh, great.
So we're always looking for those cards as well. People can bring in cards here. They can also come to various events and card signings that we have. We're also asking for people to bring in their cards, and they can enter to win great Christmas prizes for themselves and their families.
Okay.
So it's an extra incentive.
Sure.
And so we have things out on social media, on Facebook. We're doing commercials. We're doing promotion items in all kinds of ways just to get people involved. A lot of people say, how can I get involved? Because they say they might be an older person or they might be disabled. I have people from ears. I have people that are disabled that are in wheelchairs, but they love to be able to sign cards. I have a lot of community groups, some life skills groups, some residents, local residents in nursing homes. All these people, churches, are saying, how can we get involved? So we're trying to collectively work with them in various components to raise awareness, to help them feel a part and some ownership of how they can give back. And we want to just send this overall outpouring message to our soldiers and their families. We love them and we care.
And this is the 4th year for you and your mother, is that correct?
That is correct.
Yeah. And each year, I mean, you see it grow, don't you?
Yeah, we're seeing it grow, and the response we're getting from the general public, from me personally too, has been phenomenal.
And I bet you're meeting some great people through it, aren't
Yes,
you?
I
Yeah,
am.
it's a great connection. Now the dates, let's get the time frame down. It's going on now through November 18th. That's changed a little bit, right, Cindy?
That's correct. Yes, we actually were bumped up by 2 weeks because the amount of organizations that are involved in volunteer organizations to send items to the soldiers has decreased. The shipping costs have increased, and in order to get all the stockings packed and ready to go, we have to get them out between December 1st and December 5th in order that all of the stockings can be received in all the countries by Christmas.
Okay.
So we are at a 2-week earlier deadline in order to get all these items ready, prepared, and ready for ship.
Okay, so what other help do you need with the community?
Well, we just basically need everybody's help. You know, every little
In
bit.
what capacity?
Help sign Christmas cards.
Sign cards.
Come in and help stuff stockings.
Stuff
and
stockings,
getting
help
things
with
ready.
the boxing?
Yes.
Yep.
And
yes.
where all is that going to be done?
Okay, all those things are going to be done here at Blue Ridge Communications at
Same
804
location.
Academy
Okay.
Heights Avenue. And basically what we're asking people, you know, to bring in items of all kinds. We have all kinds of display items either on our Blue Ridge Cable 11 webpage. I have displays. There's much needed requested items. Very simple things that need to be done. But shipping is also a big part, which I believe we're going to be bringing up in another aspect, because we are getting the collection of the items, but we also need to have money to actually ship the items overseas.
Yeah.
But all they need to do is contact me. They can call my work number. They can email me, and I will gladly give them any information that they need.
What I like, your goal for this year is 7,500 plus stockings. Is that right, Randy?
That is correct.
Okay, so you're going for that number
Yep.
too.
Yeah.
And it is important, as we had brought up earlier, because they're there all throughout the year, so it's important to reach out and to connect with them too. So we were talking about some of the things too that you do outside of the stockings. You take care of families in the area, is that right,
Yes,
Cindy?
that is correct. We have the Keystone Military Families has a food pantry, and they also now opened up a section that will supply furniture and other much needed household goods. In fact, when I talked to Kyle Lord, she said just recently they depleted all of their furniture because they have people that are coming back that are disabled and veterans that are in need of much needed supplies. So not only are we trying to service the soldiers overseas, but their families. And when they come back, whether they're disabled, whether they're retired, whether they're veterans, they are in great need of continuing services that just cannot be met or supplied by the volunteer organizations.
That's right, because it's not just being, away from home.
That's right.
But it's the family that's a part of it as well, and
That's
then
right.
when you return as well too. I mean, we've been talking about whether the other services are financial, medical,
Yes.
mental health, and that
Yes.
as well.
And they're helping get them the key components to get them to the actual resources that they need. So they're almost trying to become like a one-stop shop, because when they come back, or when the families, they're so overwhelmed. So if they can go to a location to know that they could get some medical, where they can get resources
Yes.
for medical assistance, where they can maybe get some emotional support. Some that when they come back, they might be suffering from post-traumatic stress. They might have a lot of financial needs, and a lot of people do not want. People have their pride and their respect and their dignity, and
Yes.
so they try to handle all these things with the utmost, confidence,
Yes.
and I should say confidence, the utmost confidentiality, so that
Yeah.
people can feel,
Yes.
that they're
Comfortable and
comfortable with that.
safe.
So they're
Yeah.
trying to provide all these different opportunities.
Yep.
So it's not just overseas now. That's why it changed from
here.
the Keystone military soldiers to the families, because this embraces a
Yeah.
whole other
Yes, component.
aspect.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is wonderful work, and we are going to talk to someone from Applebee's because they are involved again. Stay with us. Welcome back to Behind the Lines. We're talking about Stockings for Soldiers. It's a part of Keystone Military Families. And joining Cindy and myself right now, no stranger either, R.D. Fry, and you are the Director of Operations at Keystone Apple. And 3 years, Applebee's been a big supporter, right?
We've been honored to do it, and we started this 3 years ago, and with Cindy and Kyle and Joel Fensmacher, our general manager of Applebee's, really got the ball rolling for us into the effort at Applebee's, and then we were able to actually extend it to our other restaurants in the central PA area, and we're honored to do that again this year.
This means a lot to you too, because you were a Marine, you also were in the Air Force, and you know the impact this has on soldiers, right?
Absolutely. I've been deployed, and my job in the Air Force Reserve was services, and the services dealt a lot with the comfort of the troops and the airmen that were deployed, and there's nothing more than getting something from home, and it can be as simple as a card, a care package, and anything from home means a lot, and I personally can say that too. If I would get something from home, it gets lonely sometimes, and you want to have something from home.
So Applebee's is really working to help get this, what we need for the postage and the shipping, correct?
Yes.
So tell us what you're doing.
Well, what we're doing in our Applebee's in Ephrata is we're raising money. We're asking our guests for donations. And they get to fill out one of the Keystone Military Families stockings here.
Great.
And if they donate $5, they get to put a nice message in here that once again will be shipped over to the troops. And once again, a word from home is also important.
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing that through November 11th, Veterans Day. And once again, we'll be doing that in our other restaurants as well.
That's excellent.
yeah.
Cindy, there is a need for other items as well. Tell us what types of items we can drop off.
Yes. Every year, the soldiers give a list or a request of much needed items that they certainly can't get overseas. And I have the list in our lobby. They can be listed on our Facebook page, on Cable 11 as well. They believe it or not, they like items. They need items like sunscreen. They love beef jerky. They love power bars.
Right.
They love trail mix. They like the energy bars, hand sanitizer. They need gloves. They might need socks, undergarments. They also like items that they can decorate for Christmas.
Oh, okay.
They also like small trinkets or items that they actually give to some of the children over there, because not only do they have a camaraderie, with their fellow troops, but they're also engaged with the families overseas as well.
Right.
And this is a way that they can bond and be supportive as well.
Okay, where specifically can we drop all of this off?
Over at our Blue Ridge office on 804 Academy Heights Avenue, completely decorated for Christmas. I have gift wrap boxes all ready for people to drop their items in.
Okay.
We also have a box here at Cable 11. I know Applebee's said they will be a collection site.
Okay.
I know we have various churches and other businesses that are willing to do collection in their own internal use as well.
And we can find that out on your website, is that correct?
Yes,
we'll
that
put
is
that up
correct.
on the screen so you
Yes.
can go there and find out
That is correct.
locations to do this.
Yes.
That's key with other organizations, schools and churches, Cindy.
Yes, absolutely. I was involved with this the Billy Graham and the Franklin Graham's project for Operation Christmas Child for 15 years, and how that grows because people have that need to want to be involved and to be a part of it. The same thing is happening with the Stockings for Soldiers program. I'm involved with all of the local area school districts. They're all involved. Not only do they do their own cards, but they also collect items with their students at each particular location. I have a lot of businesses that have come forward and say, hey, how can we give back? How can we do it in our own business? So I send the information. We don't want to put boxes out so that our employees can give back. We have people like Applebee's, Lidditz Watch Lidditz is Bill Coldren. He's doing it for the second year. So we have people in all other towns that are saying, how can we be a part of it?
Right.
How can we reach out, bring the items? So I take boxes, I take the items, and then I go and pick them back up. All of our other offices at Blue Ridge are also doing it within their internal offices as well. So the blessings that we're receiving are, I have dental offices that want to give boxes of toothpaste and toothbrushes. I have local restaurants that say, we'll get packets of coffee and you know, everything from every little bit that helps. The individuals, people from all the different retirement homes, some people from some of the disability groups, they want to be involved. So they're going to help us pack things. They're going to wrap some of the boxes for us. So everybody takes ownership. It's not one person or a couple people that make this. It is the entire community that's coming together. And to me, it's so overwhelming to see such a phenomenal project come together, and we're looking with high expectations to even provide more items and more blessings to our soldiers.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Throughout the year, Applebee's does things for veterans too.
We are so proud to do that, and at any time that there's an organization that asks our help for anything with veterans, our answer has always been yes. How can we help? And through the year, and through the more so past years, we've been able to help with the honors buses that have taken World War II veterans down to Washington, D.C. to see the memorials in Mechanicsburg Middle School, and then Northeastern High School out of York have been doing that for many, many years, taking the veterans down, the World War II veterans who didn't have an opportunity to go there on their own. So we've been able to help with that and supplying lunches for the veterans and the escorts and the guardians, and even the Rolling Thunder that has gone down there with them. It's something we're so proud to do. We've also, for 8 years now, we've given free meals to all the veterans on Veterans Day, which we'll be doing again this year. Throughout the country. Applebee's has given over 1 million free meals per year to veterans. And once again, we invite all the veterans listening today that come in for your free meal. We are honored to do it, and it's the camaraderie and the restaurants is so impressive, and talk about the community coming together, and it'd be a good opportunity to raise some money here.
That's right.
You know, because we have a lot of people that come into our restaurants. We're on a wait from the minute we open till we close. The veterans like to eat free meals, and we're honored to give them. We've also been able to work with Trout Unlimited. They do a fly fishing event for wounded veterans, and it's an event we've been able to help with for the last 3 years. And it's anything that, once again, with the veterans, and we always look for opportunities that once again, to help support. And we're honored to do this here with you today.
It's
great.
So,
It's
and
great.
I just wanted to let you know that our partnership with Applebee's goes back to working with the Neighborhood Santa program that I helped them with the veterinary social services. That's how we kind of get connected, and then we started discussing their beautiful wall that they have for the veterans. And then we just started connecting on how we can work together, and just very briefly why we actually started pushing more of the shipping. Before, we originally pushed a lot of the collections. We got thousands and thousands of pounds of items. But when Kyle came forward and said, we're getting all these wonderful items right now, but we're not getting the shipping, to pay for the stockings.
Right, and you have to get them there.
And we have to get them there. And a couple years ago, when she mentioned that, and everyone has a personal name on it. Every stocking is going to a personal man or woman that was either requested by a family member, by them, by a chaplain, that they're receiving those stockings. And when she said they had a lot of them packed and ready to go, but they ran out of the shipping, and some of them had to be left behind, and were then resent as shipping came in, but in a care package form because it was after the holidays. And many of them came back unopened because the soldier was killed in action. I said that can't happen.
Right.
We have to step up. And that's where the emphasis started coming on, that we not only need the items, but we need the shipping. And that's when we started reaching out, and Applebee's was just so gracious to come on board.
Yeah, that's wonderful. We're going to put websites up on the screen because what you're going to find on there, and let's just make sure we hit this, you're going to find out items that are needed.
Yes.
And we're going to find out all the different locations, correct? That you can drop off these items, how you can also volunteer, the volunteer opportunities as well. Once again, the time frame is November 11th and then the 18th as well, so that we can get everything together so we can ship it. So, and especially cash donations are so important because the shipping, as we discussed, has gone up, and we've got to get everything there. You are doing such wonderful work. I'm so glad that we had this opportunity to tell the community so that they can get involved too, and this can continue to grow. We're going to take a brief pause. When we come back, we've got some final thoughts. Stay with us. We've been talking about Stockings for Soldiers, the Keystone military families. We've got some final thoughts. RD.
Well, I believe we've raised over $7,500 in the last 3 years, and just hearing now that the cost is going up, we're just going to be asking the graciousness of the guests out there in the effort area to supply and give whatever we can to help this organization out and help get the stockings to the soldiers.
Yes, yes. Cindy.
I just want to say thank you to the community. We are blessed. I can't even express in words the wonderful people, the outpouring of love with the churches, the schools, the individuals, the businesses. It's just overwhelming. And I can only say thank you again for your generosity, because you don't know how many lives you're going to be touching, you know, with that smile, with that word of encouragement, and that hope and that joy that you're giving. So again, please continue to support us. Please continue to serve our military, and our soldiers are defenders of our freedom.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cindy. Thank you both. And thank you, also to our home front team for all the things that you do. Thank you to the community for making a big difference. It really, really does matter. Thank you so much. We'd like to say thank you for joining us today, too. I'm Diane Dayton with Behind the Lines, reminding you to look behind the lines. You might be surprised what you find.